Hello and welcome to another Ray's Reality. I am your host, Ray Jones, and this is Ray's Reality. It's been a little while since I've done a video or a podcast, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say. And I'm back at it. Hopefully I'll be able to do it for a little bit longer. A little bit while, as I'm just still trying to get that studio that I want, the office that I need to do this on a daily basis because I want to do it. I enjoy doing it, and so I've been all over the country doing it, which has been kind of crazy. I have a lot of videos I need to post that I haven't done yet, and I have been recording in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, I think Wyoming, South Dakota, Texas. I've been all over the place. So it is hard telling where I'll be when I record the next one and where I'm at now. I'm always in a different place doing different things. I've been in garages, I've been in trailers, I've been in RVs. Now where am I? We'll never know because I'm not telling. But there may be a lot of background noise, and right now I got a little bit of an echo in here because I'm in a really big room. So if I could have a smaller room with padded walls and a straitjacket, that's probably would be good, right? So whatever, that's not happening. And I'm being watched right now. Not only am I being watched by you, I'm being watched by the government. That's right, the government's watching us. They're watching me. There's a camera right above my right shoulder right now watching me. They're probably getting a good laugh, possibly. Maybe they're just enjoying it. I don't know. Maybe they're not listening at all. Am I supposed to worry about it? I'm not going to worry about it. Did you hear that big pop? That was my ankle. Oh, but it felt good. Anyways, that brings me to, I'm just jumping right in today on this one because I've been fighting and arguing a lot online because that's what I do. I fight and argue with people. Why? I don't know, because I'm stupid. No, I'm not stupid. I just enjoy doing it. That's all. First, I want to talk to you about this right here. Check out my website, raysreality.com. And you can check that out. And it's got information, got some cool pictures of me there and stuff like that. And I'm always going to show this as well. You can check this out. Support me if you want. You don't have to. It's all. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to, be upset if you don't. Maybe I will. No, I won't. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I just want you to be able to, enjoy everything. So I'm looking at my computer right here, and I'm looking at another podcast I just did, and I didn't remove the pictures of the criminal. I did a whole podcast about a criminal that was involved. I was the victim, I should say, not involved. I was a victim of a crime many, many, many years ago, and doing a whole show about that. Too bad back in that day we didn't have cameras watching us everywhere, because then it would have been a lot easier for the victim, me, to be able to, just be able to, have a little bit of evidence against what happened. But really, today, let's just say, today we need a reality check. We need a reality check. We always need a reality check. Hence the name of my show, Ray's Reality. So just because the whole entire thing, it's there's so much going on. I don't even know where to start half the time. But basically, today I'm going to be talking about. Here we go. Ready? Here it is. Flock cameras. And some other things as well to go with that. I'm going to be all over the place because that's how my little brain works. I'm all over the place with it. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth, but I'm probably going to be spending the next hour talking about these things, the flock cameras. So where do I begin? I have all kinds of. I've been doing some just for myself. Been doing some research, more research. I already knew about flock cameras. I already understood the flock cameras. I already knew what the flock cameras were about, but I needed to know more. I wanted to know more about the flock cameras. What did I find out about the flock camera after all my research? Nothing more than I already knew. So that was kind of the thing. Some people are looking way deep into this thing, and where are they going for their resources on cameras, flock cameras, and all these things? Most people are, I think, getting their information from Pothead Magazine. That's what I like to call it. They have other names for it, but I call it Pothead Magazine. Pothead Magazine seems to be the source where all these people go to get their information about stuff they know nothing about. And then they go on the internet and they're on Facebook and they're checking out all these videos that are coming out. Oh, look at this, look at that. Oh, look at the video. Oh, this guy almost was arrested for going to find out about flock cameras. It was a dumb video. I probably shouldn't even mention it because I was so ignorant about the flock cameras. Wasn't even a real security guard. Nothing was real about it. It was just a made up bunch of crap. So today we're going to get a bite of reality and truth. So, because that's what it is. If you want to know about something, don't get your information off of Facebook from a little clip that you've seen, because that's not what you're not going to get. You're going to get all the wrong information from that. Do some research. And everybody that has been arguing this about flock cameras with me lately, on several different resources, none of them, they all have stupid arguments, and they have no clue what they're talking about, because they have no idea what a flock camera is or what it does or anything about a flock camera. So, and like I said, I'm going to be jumping all over the place. So people, they want to know more about something, and they get scared about something that they don't know nothing about. First off, let me tell you that flock cameras have been around for a long, not just flock cameras in general have been around for a long time. Back in the 1960s, on Air Force One, they mounted a camera on Air Force One way back in the 60s. I don't know. I don't remember when exactly it was, but I do know that they put a nice camera. It was a good camera on Air Force One, and they would, everywhere they flew, they were recording what they saw, what was going on, what was happening. And I'm not going to get into it as well, but back, oh my gosh, back in 2000, 26 years ago. Like I said, I'm not going to go into details, but I worked for the U.S. government, U.S. Department of Security, and it sounds like a big technical, cool job, but it was very interesting, different, weird, what I did. But I learned a lot about technology, and cameras. Learned a lot about cameras because the cameras that we had at the places where I had to go with the U.S. Department of Treasury, U.S. Department of Security, in Philadelphia, all those different places, there was cameras everywhere. We had cameras everywhere watching your every single move, watching everything. And then, long story short, I had to take a guy that was working for me. I took him down the street. We were in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we were in downtown area, and I had to take him down the street. I took him down the street like four city blocks. I don't know the exact distance. I took him back into the parking lot behind this building, and I told him, I said, I need you got any change on you? He pulled out some change, and he had a dime. I said, hold up that dime and smile. So he held up the dime. He smiled. I said, okay, let's go back. So we drove back to the building, walked in, and I said, hold on to that dime. Don't take it out of your hand. Leave it in your hand. Hold that dime. So when we got back over there, I walked in and looked at security and said, hey, what year is his dime? And they said it was a 1964 dime. So he looked at his dime and saw that it was a 1964, and I showed him, I said, hey, show him his picture. So they brought up his picture, and then they zoomed in on the dime to just the date on the dime. This was 26 years ago, so back in 2000. And cameras were phenomenal back then for the government. But they zoomed in on this dime, 1964, blew it up, big, filled up the whole screen, and he kind of like was, oh crap. I was like, yeah, it should be oh crap, because you're busted. Because we see everything. You're not getting away with anything on in the facility. Luckily for him, he did not serve any time in prison, didn't go to prison for 3 years, nothing like that. Luckily, he didn't steal anything, nothing like that. He basically, I'm not going to go into what he did, but he just got fired. So he actually that was his second time he had a problem. And it's like I could have put him in prison for 3 years, easy. But I decided not to. I just let him go on, didn't give him any record, nothing like that. He went on about his way, lost his job, but that is on his permanent record. He will never, ever be able to get into a position like that again in his lifetime, ever. What does it have to do with anything? I'm just talking about the cameras that they used to have 26 years ago. Now let's fast forward to 2026. Here we are. It is July 2026, and everybody's crazy and talking about flock cameras. And they're worried about flock cameras. And flock cameras, they're my rights, my this, my that. So I have so many things to say about this, but here, let me first off, okay, do you have one of these? This is called a cell phone, okay? A cell phone has a camera on it and has a speaker on it. If you're wanting to hide from the government, you're not hiding from the government. If you have a cell phone, if you're watching this, you're not hiding from the government. You're not keeping any secrets from the government that they don't already know. You're not doing anything. Like I said, if you're watching this right now, you're listening to it, you're not hiding from the government because you're using the internet, which the government has full, complete access to. So with that being said, I got so much I want to say, but yeah, if you're, these preppers, I talk to so many people, I hear so many people talk about so many different things, and with that, it's crazy. It's nuts because people have no clue what they're talking about. There's a guy, I'm not mentioning any names, he wrote a whole book, about how to hide from the government. The book's freaking huge, thick book about it's a book of nonsense, of ignorance. It's like, I don't even know where he was going with it all, because he's telling people the wrong things. But if you have an electronic device in any way, shape, or form, any phone, I don't care what, if you have a flip phone from the 90s, to whatever, if you have a flip phone, you're not hiding from anybody. The only way to hide, and you're still not going to hide, is if you get rid of every electronic device you have, your cell phones, your car. If you have a car in 1990 or newer, the government hears you. They're watching it. So everything that you see and do is being recorded. Everything. I don't care where you're at. If you're at your own home, if you have any electronic devices, people, well, I don't have an Alexa because it's listening. So is this. This right here, the cell phone is listening to everything you say. It's got a camera on the front and the back to record everything you're doing. This particular phone that I have has, what's overkill, which is stupid, has 5 cameras on it. 5 cameras to watch everything that I do. And let me reflect on that for a second, the cell phones. I have a friend of mine, well, an acquaintance, I should say. He's more of an acquaintance. If I give him your name, all I need to do is give him your name, John Doe. He can go online. He can find out about everything about you. He can go online, find out who your carrier is for your phone. He can go into your phone. He can turn your phone on. He can tap into your phone. He can turn on your camera and see what you're seeing. Maybe your phone's in your pocket. Doesn't matter. He's still gonna. He can still get that. But not only is he going to see that, he's going to also be able to hear everything that's going on through the speaker. So your phone is, people. It's like if you notice that when you're in a certain area, your phone's going to pick up where you're at, as well as your vehicle does if you have a new car. And it's going to tell your phone and Google and Siri and everybody out there where you're at. That's going to tell them where you're at. So it's going to start giving you information. And then you start talking about ice cream. And then all of a sudden, ice cream shops are going to start popping up. Okay? And, well, you can turn that off. No, you can't. You cannot turn it off. You can think you turn it off. So if you're on Facebook, you and your phone, when you buy your phone, you have to sign a paper, and the fine print says they are allowed to do whatever they want with your phone, and you gave them the permission. Even if you tell them verbally, and you can write to them and say, I do not give you permission. It doesn't matter, because when you signed, you gave them permission to do whatever they want with your information on your phone. You gave them the permission to use your camera, your speakers, your phone, everything that they want, anything they want to do with your phone, you gave them permission to do that. I don't care what you think or what you say, you gave them permission. When you sign up for Facebook, you can write Facebook all the letters you want, saying, I don't give you permission to do this, that, and this, and that, and then the other. They're using it. They can use it however they want, because the fine print says they can do whatever they want with whatever they want on their website. With their Facebook is their company. It's your privilege to use it. They're giving you the privilege to use their stuff. So to think that it's theirs, not yours. It's not your Facebook. It's Facebook. And that is the company, just like TikTok I'm not going to say here. There's so many of every single thing out there. You give them permission when you sign up to it. Google, when you get a simple Gmail account or email account, if you have an email, you give whatever company permission to do whatever they want with your information, because it's all out there. It's the fine print. Most people don't look at it. And then they think, well, I get so sick, and I think it's hilarious when I see these people that post on their timeline on Facebook, I do not give Facebook permission to do this, and that. You already did. If you don't want them using your stuff, then you need to delete everything on your Facebook page. You need to delete Facebook. You need to delete all those things, and it's still going to be there. You're never going to get rid of it. You're never going to get rid of it. Never, ever. It's out there for the world to see, always and forever. You're never getting everything that's on Facebook is there forever. You're not getting rid of it, no matter what you do. You can blow your computer up, but it's still there. It's in the clouds. It's out there roaming around in the clouds. Yeah, all your information for all to see. Why should I even bother with flock cameras at this point in time? Because there you have it. You're not hiding from the government. Okay, so now before I get into flock cameras, I want to explain something. And I know exactly what everybody's going to say, because I hear it all the time. I hear it. First off, people are worried about flock cameras. Oh, they're invading our privacy. I don't want the government knowing anything about me. Okay, first off, let me just ask you this. Do you have and hold a driver's license to any state in the United States of America? I'm going to just talk about the U.S. I'm not going to talk about Europe and all that stuff, because I know in India or something, I don't think you have to have anything there. But let's just I'm going to talk about the U.S., and this will go again for other countries, possibly Europe and all that stuff. So do you hold a driver's license to any state? It doesn't matter what state. You're in the United States of America. Do you hold a driver's license for one of those states? Do you have a permit? Do you have an ID of any sort? Let's take it back a notch. Do you have a Social Security number? Every citizen in the United States of America has a Social Security number, or supposed to. Maybe you're 6 months old, or maybe a year old, or maybe you have a child that's 5 years old that does not have a Social Security number. They're not in the system yet. Well, wait a minute. Let's back up a little bit. When you were born in the United States, as far back as I don't remember when they started it, but many, 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 many years ago. Millions and millions and millions of years ago. Anyways, if you were born in the United States of America, your birth is the very first record that the government has of you. What? Are you serious? Yeah, I'm dead serious. So you're already in the system. You're already in the system. The government knows who you are as soon as you're born. You now have a record of your birth in the United States of America. And other countries also do this. But we're talking about the U.S. So you have a birth certificate. When you're born, that's your first documentation of being a U.S. citizen. That is a government record. You now have the government watching you. The government knows you're born, they know you exist, and now you're there in the system. You're in the system the day you were born. Everybody watching this, every single person watching this has a record of them being born. Unless, of course, you weren't born in a hospital, you were born out in the middle of the woods somewhere and no, it's never been documented. There's probably cases out there with that, but however, once again, if you were watching this, the government knows who you are and where you're at and what you're doing, period. There's no lies and arguments about that. So it just like, so there you go. So let's go back to the driver's license. Do you hold a driver's license? Okay. Now, when you drive, are you driving? Or are you traveling? You're driving. You're driving a vehicle, or you're traveling to a destination. Does not matter. The word is the same thing. It does not mean anything. Does not mean that, oh, my right says no, you don't have any rights. So first, let me just say, if you have a driver's license, driving is a privilege that the United States government gives you. It is up to you to try to get that, if you can get a driver's license, and to be able to drive on the roads. Well, they're public roads. Are they? Are they public roads? We call them public roads because the public drives on them. We're the public. I'm the public. We drive on public roads. Who are the roads owned by? Well, I pay taxes. They're my roads. I pay taxes. No, you pay taxes to have things fixed. That road does not belong to you. That road belongs to the city, the county, the state, our government, United States of America. Those roads, all the roads we drive on, belong to them. They build the roads, they make the roads, and they give you the privilege of driving on them. So it's their road. They can operate them however they want because it's their roads. It's the government roads, the county, the city, the state. It's their roads, not your roads. I don't care how many taxes you paid, unless you bought the property and you paid to have a road put through it, and you paid for everything there, then you can do whatever you want with that road because now it's yours. It's your road, and now are you going to give people the privilege of driving on it? You probably won't do it for free. You would probably make everybody pay for it. So if you're going to make everybody pay to come across your road, isn't it their road? Because they're paying for it. Oh, but it's not a tax. But that's what we want to call everything, a tax. It would be a road tax. You're going to charge people to go across your road. Maybe you build a bridge. It's your bridge. You're going to charge people to go across that bridge. So maybe since you're charging them, so that's their bridge because they got to pay for it. No, it's your bridge. You're just allowing people the access to the bridge. You're giving them the privilege of driving across your bridge, across on your roads, just like the government does. So I'm not Mr. Government. I'm not for everything they do and all that stuff. I'm just, it's there. I think there is a little bit sometimes overreach and stuff, but it's like, of course, with everything. But we do live in a world, and today this is not, the 1500s. It's not the 1600s. This is 2026. Everybody thought we'd be driving around in spaceships by now, but we're not. Where there is no roads and there's no government. Anyways, we're always going to have government. We're always going to have a ruler. We have one ruler. We have one king. Jesus Christ is our king. God Almighty is our king. That is the only king we have. And he is the number one ruler. And at the end, we'll all find that out. Okay? So, but before that happens, we're going to have to deal with the Antichrist and all this other stuff. Hopefully we're not here for that. I don't want to be here for that. But anyways, that's, that's a whole another podcast. So the government, you have a driver's license. So when you got your driver's license, okay, then you bought a car. So now you have license plates on your vehicle. Your vehicle has a license plate with your information on it. It tells them who you are, that you own the car, what type of car it is, and it tells them where you live, gives them your address, your phone number, gives them all that information. Oh, no, it doesn't. Well, did you lie about it? Did you lie on everything? Maybe you did. So maybe you don't have a driver's license and you're traveling. It's illegal because it's against the law to drive on the government roads that they built, that they give you a privilege to drive on. You can buy a car all day long, but you have to register it to yourself. And as soon as you get a driver's license, not only does the government already have your information because they already have your birth certificate information, where you're born and everything, and they've been keeping track of you. If you've been in public school, they have documentation from day one. If you went to preschool, the government knows about it because they have that documentation. It's there. It tells them your entire school history. The government knows that because they're keeping a record of it. So when you get your driver's license, they know you have a driver's license because they knew you were going to have one before you did. So there you have it. So you have a driver's license. That's all government information. The government now has your information. They know where you live. They know who you are. They know what color your hair is, what color your eyes are. They know how much you weigh, how tall you are. They know how you did on your driver's test, and they know what you've done in school. They know where you were born. They know everything about you now, which they already did. So it's nothing new. It's not a big secret. Now you have a driver's license. And all the people that want to argue with me about stuff, they all have driver's license. So they all have cars in their names with license plates on them. Maybe you don't have a car with license plates on it. Maybe you just bought a car and that was it. You went out and paid cash from some guy. You bought a car. Now you're driving around. You don't have a driver's license. You did have one, but now it's revoked or whatever, or you're driving on suspended license, whatever. You just decided not to renew it, but you don't have a license or an ID, which is illegal to drive a vehicle on our government roads. The roads belong to the government, not you because you pay taxes. They belong to the government because the government built the roads and they allow you to drive on them. So now we're going to fast forward a little bit and let's talk about the flock cameras. Now that we know that the government already knows everything about us and they already have a copy of our driver's license, they already know everything, they already have your license plate and everything, they just don't have anybody. After you get your driver's license, you got your driver's license 2 years ago. In the last 2 years, you have lost your license because of something. You didn't pay a ticket, you have a warrant for your arrest, you robbed a bank, whatever the case may be. If there's information out there with that and it's bound to you, then it's there, okay? So now let's talk about flock cameras. Oh my gosh, the flock cameras. I know people that are absolutely wigging out and freaking out over flock cameras. Why are they flipping out so much about the flock cameras? Because they know nothing about them. They have no clue what they're about. What is a flock camera? A camera, okay, first let me just explain to you. Flock camera's been around for a very long time. Almost I don't care where you go at in the United States of America, especially all major cities, all major towns, you drive through your own neighborhood, there's cameras everywhere. Houses have cameras on them. I promise you half the houses in your neighborhood have cameras. So every business has cameras, every building has cameras. They have cameras to watch traffic. They have cameras on the freeway. They have cameras everywhere. A couple years ago, I'm going to explain this real quick. I'm getting all over the place, like I said. A couple years ago, in Florida, a guy hit and killed 2 people on a bicycle, on their bikes. There was 2 people riding on the side of the road on their bikes. A guy hit them and killed them at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't ask me why you're out on the road 4 o'clock in the morning on a bicycle, but that's what they did. Maybe 4 or 5. So they were hit and killed by a guy. They had video footage. It was a 25 or 30 mile stretch, but they had video footage from where the guy hit the people all the way up to where he pulled into his driveway and pulled into his garage. Not only did they get the video footage from the roads and buildings from all the way through his destination from where he killed the people all the way to his house, they used his own cameras to see him pulling into his own driveway. And then, of course, they were able to track him using his cell phone. Oh my gosh. And then also they were able to track him using his car. So they tracked him all the way through. So they seen him and they had him on video hitting and killing the people, and then they just followed the video footage, and there was overwhelming amount of evidence of this happening. Basically, at that time, were flock cameras completely 100% in use? I don't remember, but I'm sure there was. There was cameras around doing this. So it's one of those things that we're not gonna get away from this day and age. We're not getting away from cameras. At my house, oh my gosh, I had cameras on my house, and I can't remember, I know 2, maybe 3 separate times the police came knocking on my door and said, hey, can we get some video footage off your cameras? Absolutely. You sure can. Well, why'd you do that? Because they were looking for a murderer. All 3 times they were looking for a murderer, and I was definitely going to help them get a murderer off the street. I'm not for a criminal. I don't want murderers running around. If somebody murdered your family, you're okay with it? No, we're going to hide him. We're going to put him in a safe place. We're going to get rid of all our video footage of him murdering our family. Is that what you're going to do? Oh, that's different, Ray. That's different. You don't understand. Obviously, you don't understand, because it's the same thing. What's it matter if somebody murdered your family or somebody else's family? You're still going to hide that person? You're going to hide that person from the person you're going to protect that person who just committed a murder and murdered an entire family because it wasn't your family? So maybe if, I have my good friend that lives across the street from me, and I saw somebody go in their house, and I have it all on video footage, and they went in and murdered their entire family. But my best friend, I'm just gonna, oh no, I'm not, I didn't have nothing. My video cameras weren't on. I'm not gonna help you. I'm gonna protect that guy. Is that what you're gonna do? That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna protect a criminal, because that's exactly what you're doing. Exactly what you're doing, no matter what that person did. And that's the problem with today's world. Everybody wants to protect the criminal. They don't want to see justice for the person that was raped and murdered and beat up and robbed. They're okay with that. And I guess you're okay with your own family being raped, murdered, robbed, and all that. I mean, seriously. So you have no clue what a flock camera is. No clue. So I have a problem with at least the flock cameras are owned and operated in the United States of America. Okay, the company is here in the U.S. There's more than one. But the ones I know of are in the U.S. and operated in the U.S. Unlike some of the red light cameras and the speed cameras, there is a red light camera, from my understandings, in Clearwater, Florida, red light camera. It is not owned and operated by the United States. It's Saudi Arabia somewhere. And if you can't fight it. If you turn right on red, you will get a ticket for running a red light. And there's nothing, you can't go to the city and fight that. You can't fight, you just pay the ticket. The police officers and ambulances and fire trucks that run the red light, the city actually has to pay for their own tickets, from what I was told, from the department. And they said that they have to, but they get a portion of that money back, because the money gets split. So the company, wherever it's at, in some foreign country that is operating the cameras, I do have a problem with that. There's not a single camera in the United States of America that should be ran by anybody. But if they have cameras, those cameras should come from the city. They should be ran, owned, and operated by the city, the county, and the state. So there's no reason. I got a ticket in Clearwater, Florida, and the company that I had to pay the ticket to it didn't go to Clearwater. It was I had to pay a company in Michigan, and then that ticket, after it went to Michigan, it went to, I think, West Virginia, and then let's see, I'm trying to think. It was Illinois, Michigan, and West Virginia, and then Florida. So 4 states were getting money was getting money from a ticket that I got in Florida. I was fighting the ticket. It took me a year to fight that stupid ticket because it was ignorant, and but I did win because it was ignorant. But dealing with that, I was like, why would I pay a ticket? I'm getting a ticket and it's coming from Michigan. Michigan has nothing to do with Florida. Now Michigan's getting part of the money. Illinois is getting part of the money. By the time Florida gets it, Clearwater, it was a $400 ticket. So they probably got $50 from that ticket, because everybody else has got to pay and get money and everything. That's ridiculous. I will say that police officers need to start doing their jobs more. I know a ton of police officers that are just lazy bums and, oh, it's not my job. Yes, it is your job. You're supposed to be out there patrolling the streets. That's your job. Do it. Your job isn't to sit around and do nothing all day long. So, anyways, the police department should be writing tickets, and the ticket goes to the city, and the city is the person who should be, you pay the city where you got the ticket at. If it's a county, then you pay the county. If you get a state ticket, then it goes to the state. That's the way it used to be, and that's the way it should be and stay. So that's the way it should be. And that's how the cities used to make money. Now they rely on government handouts for everything, and then they don't have any money to pay their police officers. They don't have money to buy new cars. They don't have any money to put into the city, because the police officers aren't doing their job. They're sitting around doing nothing. So Well, if that's the case, they wouldn't be out there shooting everybody. Whatever. Shut up. There are some doing their job, okay? Let's just be like that, okay? Just shut up. So now we have flock cameras. So let's just talk about the flock cameras. We've gotten into it, Hey, let's talk about the flock cameras. So the flock cameras that they have out there, they have flock cameras on police cars. They have them on standalone poles. They have them on buildings. They have them on traffic signal areas and stuff like that. There's flock cameras everywhere. Now, not every single, like when you come to a traffic light, you'll see a camera up there on the pole, or up on the by the camera. I can't say it. You'll see a camera up by the light, the traffic light. Those cameras aren't flock cameras. Those cameras are either monitoring traffic to see what the traffic looks like at that, and those cameras are designed to, if the traffic starts backing up, to make the light change. Or they're monitoring to see if there's accidents and stuff like that at the intersection. So it'll monitor and show that there's stopped traffic, and if the traffic's slow or slowing down or stopped at that intersection, it alerts the company that it's watching them, so they can alert the police that there's an accident at that intersection or something, lights malfunctioning, no matter, there's a dog in the middle of the road, whatever. So somebody rioting in the middle of the road, not in Florida. But so those cameras, and some of those aren't actually cameras as much as they are, some actually have sensors in them that detect police, fire, and ambulance. So it detects the flashing lights from an ambulance that it's approaching the intersection. So what it will do, it will turn the light green on that approaching side and turn the other three sides red. So it'll stop all traffic in three directions except the one direction where the fire truck or the ambulance is coming from. So they've had those out forever. Oh my gosh, when I lived in Ohio back in the 80s, they had those. They had the detection where it would actually, at that time, it would turn all four sides red. So when the flashing lights, and we would drive down the street, and we would screw it up because on some of them, on the particular road we were on, it would actually turn the light green on that side and then red on the other three sides. So we would drive down the street, turn our hazards on, and flash our brights. And if there were 2 or 3 cars together, it would trip the light, and so it would turn the light green as you're approaching it, even if it was red. So we would do that, and so we could go through the light. Yeah, that was one of those weird things we did. Sorry, but a friend of ours told us about it, so that's why we're like, hey, that's cool. It's like, so okay, but anyways. That was back in the 80s. So flock cameras, what does a flock camera do? Who's it owned by? There's companies here in the United States. So some neighborhoods put up cameras. They're flock cameras. Flock cameras, what it does, and police cars, it does the same exact thing no matter what it is. A flock camera is not recording everything about you. It's not, when you drive past it, it doesn't take in your license plate and take in the information that all that. They already have that information. They already have the license plate number. They already know what type of car you drive. They already have your driver's license number. They already know everything about you. Okay. Now, what a flock camera does is when you drive past it, it reads the license plate on your car. Okay, it's computer based. You drive through, it sees the plate. What it does, it scans the plate, gets the license plate number, immediately does a scan through the system. If that plate comes back as stolen or stolen car, warrant for the arrest, anything with the driver, like a suspended license, if anything comes back on that car, on going down the road, it will immediately, depending on what it works the same no matter what. So what it does is it says, okay, this Toyota Camry just came through the light, and the license plate on the Toyota Camry is from a Dodge Challenger. So it comes back, Dodge Challenger plate stolen, but it sees that it's a Toyota Camry because it knows the type of car, knows the color it is. So what it does is it automatically sends an immediate message to the police, or sometimes in the police car, depending on the flock camera, and states that, hey, there's a Toyota Camry traveling northbound on Interstate 75 or whatever road, Dixie Highway, whatever, and it's got a stolen plate on it from a Challenger, but it's a Toyota Camry and it's red. So now the police know, okay, we have a car, so they're going to dispatch police out to that area to look for a red Toyota Camry, or to look for the license plate there that has been stolen. So they know the plate number because it was sent to them. So now the flock cameras on the police car do the same thing, but they're in the police car, and as they're driving down the street, it's reading everybody's plates. And if anything comes back from the plate, if it's stolen cars, warrant for the arrest, it's going to alert the police officer right away, and it's going to tell him he's heading northbound, the car's heading southbound, it's a white Dodge truck. So he's going to bust a U-turn, he's going to go look for the white Dodge truck. Once he gets up, it's going to verify the license plate, and then he's going to pull him over. Now, who's driving that truck? They don't know. They just know that the license plate came back as whatever, a stolen vehicle, or somebody wanted, whatever, there's a warrant out for the arrest, driving under suspension, driving with whatever the case may be, but it's going to alert them, they're going to know, so they're going to be able to go over and pull the people over from the camera situation. These cameras are not, they're reading all the license plates. They're getting the information of what type of car it is, because it's got to match the car with the plate. So say you have a Chevy Silverado. You're driving down the street in your Chevy Silverado the license plate expired on the Chevy Silverado. So instead of going to get new plates for it, you decided to take the plates off your Volkswagen Beetle and put them on your pickup truck. Now you're driving down the street in a blue Chevy Silverado, and not your pink 1963 VW Beetle. So you go past the flock camera, and when you go past the flock camera, the camera reads the license plate, and it comes back to a pink Volkswagen Beetle 1963, and then it sees the 2025 Chevy Silverado that's blue, and it goes, uh-oh, there's a problem. There's no warrant, there's nothing, but it's got the wrong plate on the car. It's not been reported stolen. You just decided to swap the plates because you didn't want to, you figured you'd be okay because nobody's going to check it. There's no difference between that, a flock camera reading that, and a police officer pulling up behind you, just like they used to do back in the 70s and 80s, getting on their radio and saying, yeah, blue Chevy Silverado, 2025 Chevy Silverado, license plate number, 123 ABC, and dispatch comes back and says, plate doesn't belong to that vehicle, that belongs on a pink 1963 VW Beetle. So, or they can punch it in the computer and it pops up, or even on a cell phone, but they have the database, but right there in the police car, it shows, or they have a flock camera in their car that automatically reads the plate when they pull it behind you, and it automatically comes back, and it tells, everything comes up on their computer screen anyways, and there you have it. So then they pull you over, and they come up to your car and say, well, your vehicle tags and your vehicle don't match. This is from a 1963 Beetle that's in your name. Yeah, the plate's good, but why don't you have the right plate on your vehicle? And then you're going to be like, well, my plates are expired on my truck. And they'll say, well, yeah, we already know that. It came back. The plate that's supposed to be in your truck came back, and it says that it's, expired. So then they're going to give you a ticket for driving with an expired plate, and they're going to give you a ticket for having fictitious plates on your vehicle or the wrong plate, however they want to do that. So you're going to get a ticket for that. Doesn't matter how, if it came from a flock camera or the police car, the police actually, he put the number in himself or whatever. It's the same exact concept. Does not matter how. So, but well, it's a flock camera. Oh, the flock camera. Oh. It's like everybody's so scared of the flock camera when it's not doing anything except reading the plate. Now, we have all these videos that are coming online that are, this guy was wrongfully accused. He was wrongfully accused because the flock camera, it said he was a wanted victim, villain, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. I watched the video. I watched the entire video. You only see the small part that Pothead Magazine wanted you to see. So with that, the video of that guy that said he was wrongfully accused because of a flock camera, here's the crazy part about that. The vehicle, there was a problem with the plate and the vehicle. I do not remember what the problem was, but there was a problem with on the flock camera, seen the problem, alerted the police went, got this guy. So the person, I don't know, there's been several scenarios about different things, but whatever it was, he wasn't the owner of the vehicle, okay? So he was arrested. He wasn't arrested because of the fact that he was driving somebody else's vehicle that was wanted, or it wasn't a stolen vehicle. Whoever owned the car, I think they were wanted. They had a warrant for their arrest. But it wasn't their car. This guy was driving the car. So he said he was wrongfully accused. Well, here's the kicker. Here's the part that they left out, and that this guy got online. Oh, look at me, I get wrongfully accused. He forgot to mention a couple of small details. First off, if you see the whole video when they pulled him over, just like the girl, that same exact thing, this guy, the plate comes back as a person of interest that is wanted for a warrant for their arrest for bank robbery, shooting, whatever it may have been. They were wanted, but the car. So now they have to go out. They pull the car over. They're going to be very cautious because the person is wanted for murder, whatever. So yeah, they're going to bring him out at gunpoint. They have no idea who you are driving the car. All they know is the plate came back as a murder suspect that's wanted. That's all they have the information of. They have no idea if that's the person driving the car until they can identify them. Well, in all the cases that I've seen, when they pull the person over to get them out of the car at gunpoint, I would do the same exact thing, and I think you would too. You get them out at gunpoint because they're wanted and everything. The one guy, and just like the rest of them that I've seen, refused to give them their driver's license. Now, they have no idea who you are. They don't have facial recognition, which is coming. That's what the next thing is. They're going to have facial recognition, which they do actually have that in some places, but it's not nationwide. You guys are still worried about flock cameras when you going into grocery stores. Well, lots of places do have, lots of places do have facial recognition. Every casino in the United States of America has facial recognition. When you walk in, they know exactly who you are if you've ever been there. They run your picture through a database. It comes back immediately. And if you're wanted and you walk in the casino, you're going to be arrested. Anyways, does that happen 100% of the time? No, it depends on what security does and everything. But anyways, it's a different story. So they don't have facial recognition on you. All they know is the car came back as a car of interest that, with a suspect that's wanted for murder. And so they're stopping it and they're getting you out at gunpoint, and you fail to identify yourself. You fail to give them a driver's license. You fail to give them your name. You fail to give them everything. You're getting arrested. You're going to be arrested for what came back on the car, murder, because you have failed to identify yourself. And now they have to go through all the ignorance of trying to find out who you are. So they're going to have to go in, they're going to have to put your information in, they're going to put your picture in, they're going to do all that stuff to find out who you are, get you back, and they're going to impound the car, they're going to do everything. Because they have no idea who you are until you identify yourself. When you give them your driver's license. So when the police walked up to the car, if the guy would have just said, hey, why are you pulling me over at gunpoint, blah, blah, whatever, and what's your name? My name's John Doe. Here, I have a driver's license. Here's my driver's license. Who's the car belong to? It's my buddy's car. It's my friend's car. It's my brother's car. What do you know he's wanted for murder? You probably did. But, however, that's what's going to happen. They're going to remove you, and they're going to have to figure out who you are and why you have that car. What else? What do you expect them to do? What do you expect them to do? There's a lot of ignorant videos out there online stating that, they're fake videos, they're ignorant videos, they're lies, because these people are, every one that I have seen, true videos of with the flaunt cameras, the people are refusing to identify themselves. If they're breaking the law, they're getting arrested, and there's nothing you can do. All you have to do is, when you get pulled over, is identify yourself. I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm traveling. You're an idiot, and you deserve to go to jail. If you fail to give them your license and identify yourself, you're an idiot. You deserve to go to jail. It's not your, it's my right. Apparently you need to find out what your rights really are, because you don't know your rights. Because if you knew your rights, you wouldn't be an idiot. So many people, I'm so sick about the whole, it's my right, that's my right, it's my right. Oh, you don't even know what your rights are. You have no idea. You have no clue what your rights are. So a little Second Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. So ignorance is just bliss, isn't it? Wow, ignorance. So you need to learn and understand what's going on. So the flaunt cameras, all they're doing is reading a license plate. They're not taking in personal information. They don't need to know who you are, because the government already knows who you are. The government's not trying to spy on you, because they don't have to, because you already have a cell phone, you have a car, you have a computer, you have a TV, you have everything in your possession they can look at any time they want. I will tell you, and there's a fine line, but however, in general, if the government wants to know where you are and who you are, if they want to come pick you up, right this second, right now, if the U.S. government, the CIA, FBI, if they wanted me, I would be in custody within 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes, if they decide, get them, in 15 minutes, I will be in custody. Because they're going to look at the camera that's over my right shoulder right now. They're going to find me through the facial recognition. They're going to find me, and they're going to know exactly where I'm at, because they already know where I'm at. They already know exactly where I'm at, the city per se, where I'm at. They've already broken that down. They got that. Unless I'm on the run and out in the middle of the jungle somewhere in Brazil, and probably then they already know I left the United States and I'm in Brazil, because of I had to show a license, an ID to get on an airplane. Oh, maybe you took a ship. I had to show an ID to get on a ship. Unless I took a boat, and even if I took a boat, they're going to know where I'm at. There's nothing. The marina where I left with the boat, the marina has cameras, and now the marina knows. Now they use those cameras to know that I left on a boat heading towards Brazil. There is no hiding. You are not going to hide from the government, no matter what you think. So you can attempt it, but for everyday working people, you are not ever going to hide from the United States government. You're never going to do it. You're not going to hide. And when I say U.S. government, I'm talking down to the police departments, your local police department, everything. So, there is so much. 95% of all criminals get caught. It's probably higher now, but 95% of all criminals get caught. So you have a 5% chance of not being caught, especially today. Now, back in the 60s, 70s, even then, but they're catching criminals now from the 60s. And they're able to, put them to charge them with everything. But so flock cameras, they're checking you out. They're reading your license plate. They're scanning the plate. It does show them what car, but it's not giving personal information. The only thing that it's reading is the plate. And as long as that plate is clean, you have no warrants, your license is not expired, your plate's not expired. As long as nothing comes back on that plate, it's clean. It just goes in one ear and out the other, basically. It's not until something comes back on that license plate that it's going to inform the police or security who's taking care of it, no matter what it is. So flock cameras in neighborhoods can be a little bit different. What they're doing is they're recording all of the cars coming in and out of the neighborhood. Okay, they record because the neighborhood, like if you have an HOA, the neighborhood set it up to do that, and they're paying for this service. So they set up with the flock cameras to capture every vehicle coming in and out of this neighborhood. Okay, it reads the plate, tells them what kind of car it is. Now, in the event that the plate comes back if there's something stolen, warrant, whatever, it's going to not alert the neighborhood, it's going to alert the police. And the police is going to come to the neighborhood and say, okay, he's in this neighborhood. There's only one way in and out, so we got him. So they're going to search for the car. So that's how that works. For you to think that something else is going on, you're a complete idiot. You can, all these Piehead magazine articles you read and all the ignorant, stupid people that have no clue what a flock camera is that you're watching their videos of, that's what you're taking in. That's where you're getting your information, is from people that have no idea what they're talking about. Oh, Ray, you don't know what you're talking about. I did the research. I'm familiar with it. I know what the flock cameras do. Years ago when the flock cameras came out, oh my God, 10 years ago, I did research on the flock cameras. What are these? What do they do? I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I had back, 26 years ago, I had to learn. I knew about cameras and the way they worked and the way everything was about that time. And that took me back even more to find out about cameras. We've been using cameras for a long time. So government has been using them for a long time. So a camera that's placed on a satellite in space can zoom in and see the dirt in your freckles. Did you know that? That's how good they are. Well, when I put in Google, it blurs up. Yeah, because they're not going to let you zoom in like the government can zoom in on those cameras. I'm telling you, you would be amazed. I've seen it. It is amazing what they have done with technology. And then it's always funny because all these banks and the places that they have these cameras where they're looking for this blur of a person that was at Walmart robbing the place, they have the worst cameras, but yet the government cameras are absolutely amazing. Like I said, they could literally zoom in on a freckle on your butt and see the dirt in it. They can see how many hairs are sticking out of that freckle. That's how good their cameras are. Their cameras are good. They have really good cameras. So, and you're worried about a flock camera. Meanwhile, when you drive through your neighborhood, everybody's got cameras. Those cameras are recording you. They're recording everything you do. What time you drove by, what your car is. They got everything about you. But are you going to your neighbors' houses, pounding on their door? You can't record me. You can't record me. Because that's what you have to do. If you're worried about flock cameras, but you're not worried about your neighbor's camera, you're stupid. You're an idiot. Because your neighbors are getting more information than the flock cameras. So they're recording your every move. They're recording what groceries you were getting out of the car. They're recording you smoking in the driveway when you're not supposed to because your wife thinks you don't smoke, but she's not stupid because she can smell the smoke on you. Yeah, yeah. You know who you are. So just with all that stuff, it's like it's ignorant and stupid for you to think that a flock camera is going to be anything more. It's an invasion of privacy. Your neighbor's cameras are more of an invasion of privacy than the flock cameras. And it's not, I do look at it, it's like you don't understand. No, you don't understand. I don't care if there's flock cameras. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing. The government knows everything about me. They have my handprints, my fingerprints. They have everything. I had to go through a whole bunch of stuff when I worked for them, and I mean everything. So I'm surprised they didn't take a print of my foot. So they probably have an eye scan of me somewhere, but it just all that stuff. They had my information from the day I was born. I have a social security card. They have that. They know everything about me. I'm not hiding from the government. I have nothing to hide. I'm not a criminal. I've not done anything wrong. So there you have it. It's like, there's, you're not hiding from it. So your Facebook page is an open book. So to the world, you're worried about a flock camera, but yet you have Facebook and you have a cell phone. Like I said, I don't know if you heard me, but I have a friend of mine. If it would be for me, if for somebody I know, if I have their phone number, oh man, it'll be so much easier. But however, it's only going to take them a couple extra minutes to have to find out. All I need is your name. If I give him your name, he's going to tell me he can go into your phone and bring up all your passwords. He can bring up all your pictures, your videos. He can turn your phone on and watch you through your camera phone. That's right. So it's crazy. This guy, I haven't talked to him for many years, but I wouldn't let him have my own phone number because I was like, I knew he would take, and I don't want him knowing and looking at my phone. I have nothing to hide. So I tell my kids all the time, if you don't want somebody knowing, don't put it on your phone, don't put it on the computer. So because that's an open book for if you have any information, your phone is an open book. Your computer is an open book to your life. So I had a friend in Kentucky, him and his brother, I don't know about his brother really, but he was always worried about government. We talked and stuff, and it's funny because he's literally dropped off the face of the earth because he was worried about the government knowing everything about him. Of course, they already know everything about him, except right now it will be a little bit harder to find him because of the fact that he got rid of his cell phone, he got rid of his computer, his internet, he got rid of everything. He doesn't drive a new car, nothing. Because I don't know why he's paranoid. He's just one of those weirdo people that's paranoid about the government watching him. They already know everything about you. You're not getting away. It's flock cameras. You're worried about flock cameras, but yet you live in a world of technology, and you're watching this right now from devices. This is being recorded. Whoa, the world can see it. So you're not hiding from nobody. You're not hiding from nobody. I'm gonna go into. I'm gonna do a detail podcast on these people that are afraid. So I know lots of people. They think they're hiding from the government. They won't text. They have to go through Facebook and email only. That's an open book. You're not hiding. Anything you do on your computer or your phone is being recorded by the government. Everything is going into a data bank. You're not hiding nothing. Everything you say and do is being recorded. If you have a cell phone, the only way, and even if we're in a person out in the middle of the woods somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and probably then there's some type of device recording us. You're not getting away from it. I mean, it just, but if you have a cell phone, you're not hiding from, you're an open book. If you have any type of phone, if you have any type of phone, I don't care what it is, you have a phone, you are an open book. If you have a computer, no, it's just like I said, you're not hiding from anybody. And I don't know or understand why people don't understand the simple fact that you're not hiding from anybody. I am not protecting a criminal. If the police want to see my video footage, here you go. I will definitely be helping. I will always help, because it's going to catch that person. There was a murder, a guy I know, it was a friend of mine, his father captured an entire murder on his cameras at his house. So he got everything on video. And the police showed up in front of his house one day, and he walked out and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And they said, "Well, we're following footsteps." And he said, from a possible, a missing person. So they were like, he's like, "I probably got it all on camera." So they said, "Can we see?" So they went in, and he got every single second of that murder was captured on his cameras at his house. They went over immediately, arrested the woman, and arrested the father, the mother, and the father, and now they're serving life in prison for murder. So, and then they tried to hide it and everything. So, bam, there you go. And that's what they get. They start video footage. People like, "I don't want to be involved." We'll just get the video footage. That way we don't need, it's nice if people can say, "Hey, this is what I saw," but anymore they don't, because they want to protect the criminal. "Well, I didn't see nothing." Well, they get the video footage. So, and sometimes they don't need your permission. They just go in and get it. So it's like everybody thinks that, hey, like I said, you live in a fantasy world. I don't even know what to say. But that's lately, like I said, I've had several people that have been talking about flock cameras and all this ignorance. So I just figured I'd come out today and talk about it, because that makes the most sense to me. I just wanted to talk about flock cameras, and that's what I'm doing. So I didn't go into I went into some detail about it, but it's ignorant. For you to think you're hiding is just stupid. You're an idiot. So if you don't want the government to know anything about you, stop driving your car. Get rid of your driver's license. Don't renew your driver's license. Throw it away. Throw away your Social Security card. But hey, wait, that's not going to do anything. They still know who you are. Get rid of your car. Get rid of everything you own electronically. Move to the mountains somewhere. Ride horse. Have no TV, no electronics whatsoever. You can't have nothing. If you have any services, if you have an electric bill or a cable bill or a water bill, sewer bill, garbage bill, you have any bill whatsoever, the government's got you. They got you. There's no hiding. You're not getting away from it. So get rid of everything you possibly own and just walk away and go live in the mountains somewhere with nothing but the shirt on your back. And make sure it's not a new digital shirt, because if it is, they'll know where you're at. Just always keep that in mind. The government's watching, and they're always watching, and you're never getting away from them. It's scary. But you know else who is watching is God. God's always watching. And see, that's where I don't worry about the government, because I have God in my life. God's watching everything I do. And God will always protect me. Always. And I know some idiots out there, well, he didn't protect that young kid from this or that. Did he not protect that person? I'm gonna go into this real quick. Years ago, there was a little girl that was murdered by her father. Horrible, horrible. I'm sorry to bring it up, but it was horrible. Tragedy. But, however, that little girl's family was a horrible, horrible family. The mother, the father, the grandparents, everybody was on drugs, alcoholics. They all beat her. And people say, well, why did God take this little girl? God saved that little girl. Yeah, there's other means, but there was no means. The only way to save that little girl was to take her and bring her to heaven where she's in complete. She's in heaven. What more can you say? He saved that little girl. And that's how we look at it. Because sometimes we look at it and God, why did God do this? Why? God does everything for a reason. It may not, you're not going to understand it. But I know He protects me no matter what. And no matter what, I have nothing to worry about, because one day I will be spending my glorious days in heaven with my Lord and Savior. So I have nothing to worry about. The government's at least, they're the least of my, who cares? They're nobody. And they can watch me all they want. Here's my life. It's out here to be, I'm letting everybody see my life. I'm not worried. I don't care. Because God's got me. God's got me. I hope He has you too. So I pray for everybody. I pray for the law enforcement out there in this world. So, and the firefighters, EMTs, and nurses. I pray for them all. But I pray for you as well. So if you don't know God, I think, you need to know God. Your life will change and be amazing. I'm telling you, your life will be amazing. You have no clue until you change and you don't follow religion. You follow the Word of God and know everything about Him. Until you do that, you won't know nothing. So you won't know the peace, the joy, and not a religion. I don't care what religion you are. The religion will take you further away from God. It doesn't bring you to God. Religion takes you away from a lot of stuff because it's man-made. It's God's Word that you want, the Word of God. Look at it, see it, understand it, know it. Find a church that teaches the Word of God, not a religion. I pray for y'all. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I shall see you on the next episode, on the next show. Thanks for watching. I hope this upsets you and you get mad. See you, Felicia. Not today. Not today. Not today.